Revelation 2315. From the 26th of April 1942. Gifts of the Spirit. Pure truth. The gifts of the Spirit are to be valued as purest truth. They must be unreservedly acknowledged as purest truth, for the Spirit from God cannot err and will only impart truth to the human being because what it imparts is of divine origin. Consequently, the human being will never be considered other than truthful if the Spirit from God is effective. But whether the Spirit works out of God can be recognized by the fact that spiritual good is imparted to the human being which only benefits the soul, thus every earthly advantage is excluded. Furthermore, the way in which spiritual goods are imparted is to be regarded as evidence of His working. The knowledge imparted to the human being by teaching forces which no longer belong to earth far surpasses all school knowledge. And this knowledge is offered, in the form of transcripts which rise effortlessly and correctly. Thus undeniably forces are active which themselves possess such knowledge. These forces are constantly in contact with the Spirit in the human being and convey extraordinary knowledge to the human being's soul through this Spirit. Thus they increase his possession of spiritual goods without the influence of a fellow human being. Spiritual possessions can only ever be conveyed through the Spirit, for even if they are acquired by way of study they can only really be addressed as spiritual possessions when the human being has taken a stand on them and his mental activity is guided by the Spirit within himself again. Thus it only becomes comprehensible to the human being now. The Spirit must always be active in him in order to be able to receive spiritual knowledge. That is, spiritual things can only be understood by the Spirit. Therefore, whatever is to reach the Spirit in the human being must come forth from the Divine Spirit. And whatever comes forth from God, that is, has its origin in Him, must again be received by the Divine spiritual spark in the human being. The body as such can never receive what God has intended for the soul, Spirit, just as conversely the soul, Spirit, can never receive anything that has not come forth from God through the Spirit. Spiritual goods are merely a share of the Spirit, which is why only perfect beings can be donors of spiritual goods, and the Spirit in the human being alone is capable of receiving these spiritual goods from them. Amen.